Hey YouTubers, Rival Xfactor here with some 64-man Bizarre Rush defense in a Zerg server. And for those of you who do not know or don't play PC mode on 64-man or have a console, either you get these first two bombs lickety-split or you're probably not getting them, and you'll see why, because the defensive team can just set up. There's a couple rival guys on each side of the equation here. We are shit-talking each other, having a little fun, because that's what we do when we want to blow off steam from the competitive scrimming world. So one of the most common questions I get asked is, hey, Xfactor, what's it like being a dad? Because Bentley just turned 6 months old on the 13th of January. And what was the transition like? What was your thought process like? And what did you go through? So I'm going to go over that today because it was a massive learning experience. And every day is a massive learning experience. And I've never experienced anything like this. So before we get to where I'm at now, let's go to where I was about 15 months ago. So 15 months ago, the only thing I had to worry about was myself, my career, the Battlefield 3 stuff, and Mrs. Xfactor, and just my extracurricular activities, CrossFit when I was doing that, and playing volleyball and basketball once or twice a week. Not a whole lot. I'm a simple man to please. So the second you find out you're pregnant, this fear just rushed over me because I've never had to worry about another individual before, ever. And for those of you who do not know, a couple people know this, I had severe asthma, one of the worst cases. I spent countless days in the hospital, 5 or 6 trips to the ICU for multiple days, and almost died a couple times. Real sketchy times. So I faced the worst personally. That shit didn't even scare me. I got accustomed to that. Sure, when you're a kid and the first time it comes over you and you're hooked up to 15 things and all these different meters and stuff's beeping and you can't get out of bed to even go pee because there's 15 different lines coming from you, that scares you. But you get accustomed to it because it's just you. The real fear is when you have to take care of somebody else, because when a baby is born, they are helpless. They are defenseless. You have to feed them, clean them, bathe them, change their diapers. You have to do everything. So we get through the pregnancy. Mrs. Xfactor is deemed high risk because she's a tiny girl. She's about 5'6" with a 00 waist. So she's not exactly baby birthing hips. So we went the kangaroo pouch way. They took her out the front. So it was kind of painless for her and a quicker recovery for her. So all went well. Doctor brings me out the baby. And I turned white as a ghost. My father's there, her grandfather. Her parents are there. My mom's there. And the whole family's there. And I am white as a ghost and almost with a sweat over me, like a cold sweat. I couldn't say anything. I just had this massive smile on my face, and it hits me. After buying all kinds of stuff, going through all these checklists and websites of what we need, I thought that was troublesome and worrisome. No, that's the easy part, finding out what you need to buy and whatnot. The hard part is when you realize there's this life that looking back at you, and there's this connection. The baby knows who you are. The baby knows that you're the daddy, and just snuggles up to you. So we get home after 4 or 5 days in the hospital because Mrs. Xfactor and some complications. Nothing real big, so she's absolutely perfectly fine. Obviously, because we're having a second kid, everything works well and healthy. But you get home, and then the first couple months, the baby does nothing but poop, pee, eat, sleep. You get very little reaction from the baby. You don't start to get the smiles and the oohs and the ahs till 3 or 4 months. So we're at the 4-month checkup, and Bentley's already pushing up. She's already kind of dragging herself around and rolling over. Doctor goes, well, by 5 months, she seems pretty advanced. Doctors face the other way. They've got her butt-ass naked on the table and just a diaper on her because they're checking her bone structure and checking her skin and make sure there's no funky rashes and things like that. So doctor's back is turned. He goes, well, she's pretty advanced. Within 2 months, she'll probably be crawling around. He turns around. Well, let's take a look at something. By the time he turns around, she's already across the table. He goes, never mind. Forget I said that. She'll be walking within 2 months. So she just turned 6 months. She just had a little birthday, and she's already crawling like a madman, or mad girl, I should say. There's a difference between dragging yourself around and openly crawling. She is openly crawling, like you or I would today as grown adults or teenagers, right? So it's kind of crazy. We've had to worry about that lately. So let's talk about my first scary story with Bentley. Daddy babysits every once in a while because Mrs. Xfactor does all the shopping. She takes care of the house. She takes care of everything because she's awesome. And I'm babysitting, and I'm watching some football. This is a couple weeks ago. And, Bentley's already rolling around, obviously, a month ago, actually. And I've got her on the couch next to me. As quick is I can turn to my left or turn to my right to get the remote. She flips over, and I hear this, ah! She's falling off the couch head first. Hits the floor with her head. I hear nothing for 10 seconds. Then I hear this massive gasp of air and then screaming on the top of her lungs. I freaked out. I thought I turned her into a vegetable right there. I was freaking out. I call up my mom as quick as possible. I'm like, Mom, what? I just dropped her on the head. And my mom's a nurse at the hospital. She's like, well, is she breathing? Yes. Is she showing emotion? Oh, yeah. She's crying out a storm. Is she reactive to what you're doing? Is she starting to calm down after a couple minutes? Yes, she calmed down. What I did not know, which I should have known because I'm a pretty smart guy, is kids are resilient. They're made of glue and rubber bands. They can take an absolute beating. And I want to remember back to a time where my uncle, who plays Battlefield 3 with me, you'll catch me in servers with him every once in a while. This guy used to change my diapers. He dropped me on my head when I was 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. We were playing at my grandma's house, and she's got this really cool stairwell that goes upstairs, and my uncles were playing catch, and I got dropped. He swears it didn't happen. My head will tell you a different story. It definitely happened. And I was fine within 2 days. So we go to the doctors a couple days later, and he just laughs at us. He goes, just 2 feet from the couch? Pff, not a problem. Kids are tough. Just, monitor her behavior and see if she keeps grabbing her head or if she grabs her head at all. So we were fine. I really thought I turned my daughter into a vegetable. I felt horrible. But come to find out, every kid gets dropped on their head. So go ask your parents, hey, Mom, Dad, you ever drop me on my head? First, they're going to explain, well, yes, and then they're probably going to say that it probably explains the reason why you are who you are now, right? A little dig on you. But I was dropped on my head numerous times, so that is what is wrong with me. That is why I have little quirks about me. So, jokingly, of course. So I got through that. So we're into this cute baby time. About 5 months to right now 6 months and beyond, it's cute baby time. Why? Because she's trying to talk. She's oohing and eyeing. For those of you who do not know, I let her do a little intro with me the other day in my Shotgun Slug Raw Rounds footage, and she's oohing and eyeing. At the end, she's grabbing the mic. I was going to keep kind of talking through the commentary just a little bit, but the fact that she was grabbing onto my mic stand and mic, that was a good sign it was time to go, because babies can break stuff. So she's oohing and eyeing. She's talking to us, and she laughs, not just giggles and smiles. First, a baby starts to smile at you with no teeth, of course, and then they start to belly laugh. She's already at that phase. So it's extremely cute, and with my career, it's a pretty stressful career. No, YouTube is not my career. I have a lot of stuff I have to worry about, a lot of people I have to worry about, and sometimes the day doesn't go exactly as planned. It's kind of a rough day. Here you see me going Cobra Commando, victory crawling on my belly. And no matter what happens, when I come home, the first thing Bentley does is starts talking to me. Obviously, it's mush mouth. You can't make sense of what she's saying. And she starts smiling at me. Then I pick her up, and she just cuddles up to me and just keeps talking to me. Man, oh man, that is the best feeling in the world. I can go 100-0 in a server, or the other day I went 15-0, started off 15-0 in a scrim against Nexus. That's got nothing on on hanging out with my baby, getting that reaction from her. So, I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm going to continue to update you guys with stuff and get her involved as I can through the years, because she will be the best, highest trained gamer chick, as long as she enjoys it. If she doesn't enjoy it, I'm not going to force her to do it, that's ever seen the likes of YouTube or games. So beware. She just won't be a pretty little gamer chick that's got a channel that can actually kill, kill 2 or 3 people every couple minutes. She'll be dropping baddies like a bad habit. I'm going to train her in the arts of the battlefield. So, kidding aside. But Mrs. Xfactor and I, we're at the point where we can take her out and we don't have to worry about her crying because she's entertained by people. We put her in her stroller now because she's big enough to actually sit up in the stroller without like the car seat thing, and she loves it. We'll be pushing her around the mall. She's trying to talk to people, smiling at people. It's a good time to be a parent right now. And it's very, very fulfilling. And there you see me just drop the hammer with the AEK and pretty much hose everybody down, wall suppressed, doesn't matter. Just pull down extra hard because that recoil is going to kick. So fatherhood has been a blessing in disguise. All the fears are gone. Sure, there are the outlying fears with, well, what am I going to do as she grows older? What about boys? What about this? What about that? What about her health? I figured out I'll worry about it when we get there. We've already started a college fund for Bentley because that's very important to continue an education in today's day and age. It's very important to be good at something and to be paid accordingly. And we've already taken some of the necessary steps. We have a game plan. I've had my condo for 9, almost 10 years, my little party pad. I'll be renting this out within 2 years. The plan is stay here until the newborn is here because I'm having another kid. And we're going to hang out for about 2 more years. I'll rent my place out. Then I'm going to buy a house and some property. I grew up in San Francisco for a couple years. I grew up in the countryside. I've seen it all. I remember being a kid and having a couple acres. We had a 6-acre pond across behind from us. We had a 5-acre pond in front of our house. I remember that. And looking back, that was an amazing experience growing up, being able to go outside with a baseball, basketball, play with your brother, who I had, and my grandparents always came over, shoot the basketballs because we had a concrete court. And that was just amazing, being able to swim whenever you want in the summertime or go catch frogs and play in the ditches and just get muddy and dirty. It was a good time, and I think that'd be an appropriate way to bring up my child because it's about choice. I have a choice. I don't have to be in this condo. It's just something I chose to do for the last 9 years because it's fun. I'm in the entertainment district, which means bars and restaurants and nightclubs. That was a perfect place to live in my early 20s, and now I'm 31. But it's time to move on to bigger pastures. Plus, with buying some acreage, I have 2 slaves that can mow grass. I'll never have to worry about that. Just go to the gas station every once in a while, fill up the 10-gallon jug, and here you go, kids. Have fun for the next 2 hours, because Daddy grew up doing that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this gameplay and this commentary. Let me know if you want to see more kind of life commentaries, because I do keep my life kind of sheltered. I don't talk about much, but I wouldn't mind talking about certain things or stuff I go through or what I've learned. So as always, thank you for your support, and don't forget about the thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this style of commentary. And Bentley says hi, and she'll be coming back soon and to teach all you noobs a lesson is what she said last time. We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
I didn't realize you guys were all in there. Threw a fucking nade in there.
This is basically impossible to win.
I'm just shooting at bodies. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah, you are.
Is this the server you can't use vehicles?
I think so.
Yeah. No!
It's murdering you again.
Yeah, it killed me before the screen flash, too.
58 bomb. All camping. Pro camper. You have no idea how many quad kills I got just bursting that store.